Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Jo here. I hope you're all well and having a wonderful day and keeping safe. If you're new here, I'm Jo. I do craft videos. I do 3 a week plus a Poundland haul every fortnight and my charity shop finds. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you leave a comment, I will reply. And if you're not subscribed and you want to see more from me and you like what you see, then it'd be wonderful if you joined our family and friends. If you're returning, as always, my friends, welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. Really does mean the world to me, as you know it does. I tell you every single time that I upload a video. So yeah, we'll get into today's video. I did have a slight little technical difficulty on one section of the video that didn't record, but luckily enough I do exactly the same thing a bit later on in the video, so I'll be able to show you that and I'll point it out when we get to it. I didn't do the section at the beginning showing what I used because when I started it I did put a lot of things that I didn't use in it, so I'll just tell you what I use as I'm going along. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use an old cardboard box and I'm going to use a colander just to trace around. I need a circle for the wreath at the back of the display. So I'm just going to draw around using a pen and then I'm going to cut this out with a pair of scissors. I'm going to do 2 of them so that we can stick them together to make the cardboard a little bit thicker and so it stands up a little bit better. So I've cut my 2 circles out and now I'm going to create the hoop. So I'm just using an 8-inch embroidery hoop and I'm just going to trace around this in the center, and then I'm going to do exactly the same to the other piece of cardboard that we cut out, and I'm going to then glue them together. So I've cut them both out. I'm going to use a bit of hot glue to stick them together and then we can start to decorate the hoop. So I'm using some wool and this is in the colour baby turquoise, and I'm just going to start at the back. I'm just going to secure the wool in place with a little bit of hot glue. And now I'm just going to wrap the wool all the way around the ring, making sure that the wool is nice and tight and it's next to the previous piece of wool that we've put in place so that there's no gaps. I'm going to go all the way around the ring and then I'm going to glue it in place when I get to where I started. And then the base of our hoop will be done. So this is the section that messed up. I don't know why I don't have a recording, but I don't have a section showing you how I did the flowers at the top. So I will be doing them again a bit later in the video, so I'll explain how I did them. But I'm just going to finish it off with a few white flowers. And like I said, I will explain exactly and show you how I did them later on in the video, because I did this 3 times. This section I did 3 times. So yeah, luckily enough, I managed to record it a little bit later on. So to finish off the wreath, I'm just going to add a few more decorations once I've glued the white flowers in place. And I'm just going to add some small little green leaves down each side of the flower display that I've done. And I'm just going to glue them in place with a little bit of hot glue. And then to finish off, I'm going to use a few little white flowers. And I'm going to leave the other section of the wreath completely blank. because we're not going to be able to see this a bit later on. So all the flowers are now stuck in place and we can start to work on our basket. So this is one of the Poundland baskets. It was in the Mother's Day section, so it cost £1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a lid for it. So I'm just going to use, again, an old cardboard box, and I'm just going to lightly trace around the outside of the basket. And then I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to do 2 of them again so we can glue them together so that they're strong enough to hold everything that we're going to put on top of it. So originally I was planning on sticking it to the top of the basket, but in a little bit I ended up cutting it so that it fitted inside. And this is just so that we can pop what we want on the display. So now I want to make the section where we need to pop our wreath. So I'm just going to hold it in place whereabouts I want it, and then just use a pen to make a mark. And I'm going to leave about a centimetre gap. And now I'm going to just use a ruler and I'm going to draw the section that we're going to need to cut out. So I want the wreath to stand up at the back of the display. So I'm just going to do about 10 centimetres in length and 1 centimetre in width. And I'm just going to use a craft knife to cut that out of the cardboard. And then I'll be back. So I've cut out the section for the wreath, and now our wreath should stand up nice and neat in this hole. It needs a little bit of force to get it in the gap, but it now stands up. Like so. So I started to paint the cardboard in a green because I was going to cover it in leaves and flowers, and then I remembered that I had some green grass left over from Wish, so I stopped painting, I let it dry, and then I decided I was going to use the grass to cover it. So I'm going to start from the front, I'm going to work my way around and glue it down, but first I'm going to make sure that I can get the cardboard in the center of our basket. So I'm just going to start by trimming little bits from around the side until it fits in the basket. So I just did little bits to start off with, making sure that I didn't take too much off, and I continued to do this until it fitted in. Like so. So now I'm going to cover it with the grass that it's the size that I want it, and I'm just going to use hot glue to stick this in. I'm just going to glue the grass in place and then trim off around the sides. And I'm going to completely cover the cardboard. So my base is now completely covered, and we can start to attach it all together. But before I start to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my rabbit white. I'm going to use a white acrylic paint. I'm going to do 2 coats and let it dry. And this is one of the Poundland rabbits. So my rabbit's drying, so I'm going to pop my base into my basket. I'm not going to glue it in because it fits nice and neatly without any glue. And then I can add my wreath. And then my rabbit's going to sit to one side like so. So now I'm going to do exactly the same as I did on the top. I'm going to do for the front of the basket. And I can show you exactly what I did here. So I took 2 of the large, I think these are oak leaves that I've got. So I'm just going to glue these 2 together to form the base to stick the flowers on. Then I'm using 2 of these cream flowers. I'm going to put 1 at each side. Then I've got some little bits of greenery and I'm going to stick 2 at the top and then 2 at the bottom. And then I'm going to finish it off with a blue rose in the centre. I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to add 4 of these white flowers, 2 at the bottom and 2 at the top to hide where we glued everything together. So now that my flower section's done, I'm going to glue it to the side of the basket, just underneath where the rabbit's sitting. And I'm just going to hold it in place and let it dry. So now I'm going to work on the other side of the basket, and I'm using one of the Asda birdhouses. These were £3, and I'm going to paint the roof white and I'm going to paint around the outside in a light blue mixed with white. This is the metallic paint from Poundland, and I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do 1 coat and I'll be back once it's dry. So it's all painted and it's dry, and now I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to make another flower section, so exactly the same as I did for the wreath and the front of the basket, and this is to go on the side of the birdhouse. So I'm going to glue that in place. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I've got 2 of these white doves. I got these from Wish. I think I paid a couple of pounds for them. I'm going to stick 1 at the front of the birdhouse and then 1 on the roof. And that's it, guys. And here it is. I'm really happy with it. I absolutely love the colours. As you know, they're my colours and they're my favourite colours, and I just wanted something that was really bright and cheerful and ready for spring. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's given you some ideas. I'm sorry that there was a little bit of the video missing, but I hope it was all explained and you got to see everything. So I will see you on Wednesday for Wednesday's craft video. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Love you lots. Bye.